So, in case you've been living under a rock over the past few days, the orders have come down from the House of Mouse that Disney is going to be stripping Netflix of its entire Marvel television universe. The universe that Disney themselves and Kevin Feige and the hacks that are currently running the MCU have gone out of their ways leaps and fucking bounds to fucking ignore. Some claim this is due to the mature aspect of these television shows, not abiding by the PG-13 family-friendly rating of a typical Disney Marvel product. But honestly, and especially when it comes to Daredevil, the reason is quite clear. Those hacks were fucking jealous because they couldn't create anything close to the level of quality that all 3 seasons of Daredevil bring to the table. And they knew it, but now that the well is drying up, they want to carve out a piece for themselves of that sweet, sweet Red Devil action. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's your pal NOMZ here, and we're talking today, or I'm ranting today, about this really infuriating news because, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Netflix fanboy by any means. Netflix themselves are a pretty deplorable company, as we're going to see in this very video. But those of you who have been following this channel for a decent amount of time know my stance when it comes to pop culture. Whoever wins as long as Disney loses, because, well, as we all know, Disney are just complete fucking shit cunts. They own all these IPs and they are running them straight into the fucking ground. When it comes to the Netflix verse, we all knew it was on borrowed time because of the stupid fucking executive decision of Netflix to cancel arguably their most beloved original series, and that's an important distinction here. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and The Punisher are all Netflix original series, licensed by Netflix and developed by their own creative teams to make these projects and this whole television cinematic universe that they've created. For better or worse, like, I really don't give much of a shit about Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, or Iron Fist, and The Defenders was garbage, and I attribute that to the cancellation of Daredevil, first with derailing Season 2, and then ruining hype for Season 3. But when it comes to Daredevil and The Punisher, but most particularly Daredevil, the Netflix Marvel television verse gave us some pretty fucking great content, and I'd argue and stand by that Netflix's Daredevil is the best Marvel product in the past 15 years. The best thing since Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, and the best superhero origin story since Batman Begins. Hands down. Yes, I know we had Avengers Infinity War, we had Avengers 2012, and we had Iron Man. I still absolutely hands down believe Netflix's Daredevil to be the superior project. It's just that good, and I'm really glad I discovered it recently while it was still on Netflix. But unfortunately, Netflix is run by a group of corporate, wokeified, out-of-touch retards who don't recognize a good thing when they fucking see it. You see, Daredevil Season 4 was cancelled just over a month after Season 3 released, and just a week after Season 4 was pitched. Do the math. This is back in 2018. And largely the reason for this is because the viewership numbers for the first week of Season 3 of Daredevil were reportedly less than half of the opening week for Season 2. That is not the fault of Season 3 of Daredevil. Season 3 is widely regarded by myself included as the best season of the fucking product. No. The reason why Season 3 had a slow start, but a very positive and wide regarded reception, eventually, wasn't the fault of Daredevil Season 3. It was the fault of Daredevil Season 2, or at least the latter half of Daredevil Season 2, and that was the fault of Marvel's The Defenders project, aka the discount Avengers, which undoubtedly Daredevil was the best part of. Now, people go round and round in circles about how Netflix lost the contract to Disney, and Disney are the assholes that forced Netflix to stop production on all the Marvel shows, and they're the ones that grabbed Netflix by the balls and forced them to let go of Daredevil, as well as The Punisher and all the other Marvel products that Netflix had developed. And yeah, I won't refute that. But we all know Disney are scumbags. We all know that Disney want to control everything and have everything tossed into their cinematic abortion known as the MCU Phase 4. And they want to just turn everything samey, family-friendly, fucking wokeified, regurgitated garbage that panders to the lowest common denominator, which is what the MCU is becoming. The MCU wasn't always shit. The Infinity Saga, I maintain, is worth watching and mostly good, but everything after Endgame, including No Way Home, for those of you who want to refute me, here's a fucking video that'll shut you up. Everything since Endgame has just been a downward spiral. And it's because of this downward spiral, they want to snap up every single fucking fan service character an alternatively created Marvel product that fans like and incorporate those characters made by other people into their shit to boost numbers and gain traction. I mean, let's be fucking frank, there's a reason why we haven't seen Luke Cage, Iron Fist, or Jessica Jones in the MCU as of yet, but there sure as shit is a reason we've seen Charlie Cox's Daredevil in No Way Home, which I'll admit was a pretty good cameo, and most recently and most alarmingly, red flag everyone, we saw Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk in Hawkeye cucked the fuck out and made to look ridiculous. Warning signs? Maybe? Because I'm sick of all this, oh my god, I can't wait for Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio to reprise their roles in the MCU. Bring these two into the MCU immediately. You guys, Jesus Christ, you guys are just, you can't see the train coming at you at fucking 100 miles per hour down the goddamn tunnel. You think it's a light at the end of the tunnel. Coincidentally enough, and well suited for the occasion, I'm gonna steal a line real quick from Affleck's Daredevil back in 2003.
Hey, that light at the end of the tunnel, that's not heaven. That's the C-Train!
Now, there are those of you who well and truly know what Disney is capable of and what they are going to do, and there are many of you who aren't fond of the MCU now, and plenty of you who weren't particularly ever fond of the MCU because of how samey and safe it was, and how regurgitated and lacking in substance and formulaic a lot of those movies are. And you guys aren't wrong by any means. And yes, Disney is responsible for getting the Netflix original Marvel television universe removed from the Netflix platform and shove it into their own streaming service, most likely Disney Plus, though some are speculating that the Netflix Marvel universe will be shoved onto Hulu instead because, hey, what isn't owned by Disney at this point? And yeah, Hulu would likely be the alternative since you gotta keep Disney Plus family friendly. Anyway, is Disney responsible for securing complete ownership of Marvel's property and grabbing it by both hands from Netflix? Yes, absolutely. But I, for one, blame Netflix for allowing it to happen in the fucking first place. Because this is the reality of the situation here. Netflix didn't appreciate what the fuck they had. Period. I already went through why they cancelled Daredevil. They just wanted to make bank of a discount MCU that, even though the majority of it was dog shit, did produce some of the best quality Marvel has ever done since the dawn of its existence. In some ways, it's actually probably kind of a blessing because Netflix allowed creative freedom to the people who helmed Daredevil, who actually did give a fuck about the product. Season 2 definitely being the exception on that front, but in an age filled with studio meddling, Daredevil was allowed to be as good as it was because Netflix didn't give a shit. But it turned out to be a double-edged sword, because it's the very reason why it got cancelled in the first place. And here's the kicker. The reason why Netflix didn't proceed with a Daredevil Season 4, or try to revitalize the product, or continue any of its other Marvel Universe television shows, is because they wanted to pursue more original content for their platform. What the actual fuck? Gee, that really shows where your priorities are, Netflix. You'll allow and push and approve and stand behind horrendous products like Cuties and fucking Kevin Smith's She-Man, Masters of the Abortion, but you'll allow Disney to rip with both arms out of your grasp the best Marvel product in the past 15 years, and without a doubt, collectively, your most profitable fucking draw to your own platform? It blows my fucking mind how these guys can be so out of touch. Kindergarteners are fucking running Netflix because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They'll approve possibly the worst shit ever, God only knows why, and they'll make certain, damn certain in fact, that the best shit they have going for them, and arguably one of the pieces of the Netflix puzzle that helped fucking build the platform in the first place, they'll make sure that gets fucking ripped from their grasp. Well done, Netflix.
You took the things that mean the most to me.
Well, maybe you should have fought harder for them.
Well fucking done. So people are gonna say, oh, but the licensing ran out and blah blah blah. No, I refuse to let Netflix off the hook here. They are the ones to blame. Disney are the bad guys too. I don't like Netflix. I just hate Netflix less than Disney. Netflix is still the bad guys. Netflix suck. Netflix, I'm not praising you. I'm condemning you for letting Daredevil and the rest of your Marvel shows, most of which were dog shit to begin with anyway, but Daredevil in particular being taken from your grasp and given to someone worse than you. Which is a very short list, but Disney is on that fucking list. Fact of the matter is, Netflix could have fought much harder for it. They could have fought much harder for these products that they developed as Netflix original series made by mostly passionate teams of people that, whether I love or hate most of this universe, is beloved by a large portion of fans. You think Netflix couldn't have fucking fought to retain the license for longer? You really think that Netflix couldn't have been like, hey, fine, we won't make any more, but we're keeping these fucking shows on our platforms because we fucking made them, not you, Disney. So take your order to put them on Disney Plus and stick it up your ass. Don't you think Netflix could have fucking done that? The answer is, of course they could have. They just didn't want to do it because they are out of touch, fucking moronic, stupid, and they have their priorities fucking elsewhere. Firmly lodged up their ass, in fact. And they let Disney run off with some of their best fucking work. And Netflix just bowed their fucking head and took it. Disney cucked the shit out of them. Netflix cucked Daredevil. And now it's going to be on their platform, and it's going to be bad for Netflix because a lot of people aren't. I'm only on Netflix to watch Daredevil at the moment. That's it. Daredevil and Punisher. I actually started watching the Punisher. I'm somewhat of the way through it. Granted, I'll have to fucking binge it to finish it now because it's going to be taken off the platform by the end of February, and I'm sure as shit not getting Disney Plus to watch the rest of it. And neither should any of you for that matter. Like I said, I'm no fan of Netflix, but hey, they are the ones who developed the product, so yes, I'll use their platform to fucking watch it. I sure as shit ain't gonna use Disney's because 1, fuck Disney, and 2, Disney didn't give a shit about Daredevil, and 3, Disney are probably gonna likely fucking ruin it with sequels and fucking standing cameos like the Hawkeye series did to Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. Goddamn, Vincent D'Onofrio deserved better. Thankfully, at least John Bernthal, near as I've heard, isn't interested in returning for the Punisher because he's worried they won't be faithful to the character. Mazel tov, my dude. What a fucking mad lad. Charlie Cox, on the other hand, wants to continue with Daredevil because he was promised a lot more in his Netflix contract, both for additional Netflix Daredevil seasons, as well as additional team-up series. Most likely a Defenders season 2. Yeah, that wasn't gonna fucking happen. God damn, the Defenders was fucking shit. What a waste of Sigourney Weaver. Dear God, they gave her nothing to work with, but that's besides the point. But like I said, Charlie Cox is more than willing and enthusiastic to continue playing Matt Murdock and Daredevil going forward because he was promised a lot more and he should have fucking got it. He's just now going to have to get it with Disney, and I'm sure he wants Matt Murdock to be as faithful to what he's supposed to be as possible. I truly believe that. But at the same time, Charlie Cox, near as I can tell, he's just a fun guy who wants to play the character because he loves it. He loves Matt Murdock, he loves Daredevil, and he loves the fans, and he wants to please them as much as he can. It's probably one of the reasons why he stood in for that cameo during Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm sure he loved it. And admittedly, yeah, it was a good cameo, but I do not trust Disney and their family-friendly bullshit, especially those helming the arse end of the MCU in Phase 4, to handle Daredevil and the mature rating it possesses that gives the series its fucking life, its grit, and its realism. Netflix could have fought harder to be like, hey, at the very least, fine, you want to continue Daredevil? You can do that on your streaming service, but we're keeping the good shit, the stuff that we did, on our fucking platform. And as I said, Netflix just let it fucking happen. Disney just fucking walked over them. And don't you dare tell me, oh, but, Disney has the pull, Disney has the rights and everything, they own Marvel. Netflix has a much bigger streaming service and far more subscribers than Disney Plus. They have pull as well. They could have fucking fought harder. If Disney, with all their bullshit and wealth and strings they have at their fucking fingertips, can push whoever the fuck's in charge of copyright to amend copyright law to extend the time frames of IPs to have to wait decades longer before they have to be placed into the public domain. If Disney has the pull to literally change copyright law, then I'm sure Netflix would have enough pull to extend their fucking licenses. Period. Now, apparently a lot of people are saying, and this has come out as well, that there was a 2-year delay for Daredevil to first appear into the MCU because after the contract had been terminated and Netflix stopped producing Marvel content, that there would be a 2-year delay before that content could be removed from the Netflix platform and placed somewhere else. Again, Netflix could have fought harder to maybe add a few more years to that fucking contract. They could have been more patient to see how the reception of Daredevil Season 3 would have turned out, instead of getting cold feet after only a fucking month and cancelling the project. They could have done more research into why Daredevil Season 3 wasn't getting the viewership they initially predicted it would, and that it should have gotten. Because like I said, it wasn't the fault of Daredevil Season 3, and anyone who's fucking watched the show would agree with me on that. Personally, I think Season 3 was the perfect end to the series, and it shouldn't be dug up and disturbed and violated, but we all know what Disney are going to do, which is why I always say if you create something that's worth a fuck, that is making money, don't fucking sell it. Don't license it to other people. Hang on to it. Take the advice of George Lucas and learn from his fucking action. He was decades ahead of the goddamn curve, and he knew firsthand and right from the beginning, studios fucking suck. Your product could be worth millions and billions one day. Hang the fuck onto it. Take a risk. And don't let these corporate cunts get a hold of it, or they will fucking ruin it. You need to maintain creative control. Now, obviously, George Lucas, in what I personally refer to as D-Day back in October 2012, did in fact sell to the corpos because he very short-sightedly listened to the dumbest and most bottom of the barrel of the fucking internet fucking fan base that were chastising him for his work. And well, I mean, the cautionary tale of Star Wars. Need you look any further? George Lucas maintained creative control, kept the franchise out of the corporation's hands, and Star Wars flourished. The instant he signed it over to Disney, who also owns Daredevil, mind you, and now owns the Netflix version of the character, after that deal was made and Disney had control, Star Wars fucking plummeted. And I guarantee Daredevil will as well. Fuck Netflix. Anyway, guys, look, that's my rant out of the way. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope a lot of people agree with me on this. I imagine some of you will disagree and think, well, maybe it isn't Netflix's fault, maybe it's all Disney. I personally believe Netflix just weren't in touch, didn't know what they had, and didn't fight hard enough for a product that all of us cherished. And I mean, even its other shows that I personally don't care for, they have a fan base. People like to watch them, and more power to them. They've lost all that now because they want to pursue more original content. Well, I guess I'll be unsubscribing from Netflix at the end of the month because, well, I don't have jack shit to watch on it now, do I? I'll have nothing to watch Netflix for until about a year from now when Cobra Kai Season 5 comes out, and maybe if The Witcher pulls its head out of its ass, I'll watch Season 3. But yeah, Netflix ain't getting my subscription for another year. Shame on you, go fuck yourself. But anyway, that's gonna be the video, guys. That's the rant. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to me ramble on. Hope you got some satisfaction from it. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this development and how it's going to affect the Netflix and Disney streaming services going forward. Just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members for their awesome contributions to the channel. Thank you all so much. If you'd like to become a Patreon member, the link is in the description, or if you'd like to become a YouTube member, you can just click the join button down below. If you want to talk more about this topic, as well as Marvel, Star Wars, and other pop culture related topics as well, check out the channel's Discord server. I've linked it below. Hope to see you there. Maybe you'll make some friends along the way. Special thank you to a British Potato for helping me edit the audio of this video together. I've linked his channel below. Check him out. He makes great stuff. I've recently started a BitChute account for an external platform to post my videos. I've got one video up on there already. I've linked my BitChute account in the description below. Hope you check it out. Hope to see you there. I literally just started that channel last night, so I don't know, let's get it up and going, and it's important to branch out, it really is, because much like Disney, I don't want YouTube to own everything either. And anyway, guys, thanks for staying till the end of the video. You are a legend, and I'll see you next time.